Banlord is on its way up, and Warband's probably on its way out by now. We've had a good run with this game, but it seems like the game is sort of being left. Wait, what? What is this? Oh my god. If you're in the Mount & Blade community and you've been living under a rock for the past 24 hours, you probably won't know this, but to everyone else, I hope you are looking forward to playing this, because this is absolutely awesome. This is the biggest update the Mount & Blade Napoleonic Wars has ever received, and it's coming out now. Yes, in January 2018. Why are they bringing out an update? I don't know, but I'm not complaining. And today's video, I'm obviously not going to be going over everything, because, oh my word, the list is a bit long, Hilbert. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to be going over all the important bits and the biggest parts and the things and changes that I thought were the coolest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video on the new update for Mount & Blade Napoleonic Wars. First off, we have an entirely new game mode. This is the King of the Hill game mode. Now, it works pretty much how you would expect a King of the Hill game mode, and I'm not entirely sure that King of the Hill game mode is what people really wanted. No one really asked for it, or maybe they did and I'm just being an absolutely idiotic person. But of course, what you do is you have a defending team and attacking team. The defending team have a flag that they have to defend, funnily enough, and the attacking team have to attack that flag. And after, I don't even know how it works in this, because it seems to go so quickly. This doesn't really have any place in any of the events for competitive gaming in Mount & Blade Napoleonic Wars. I doubt any regiments will be playing it, so the only reason I can think of why they included it is for the casual players. But there aren't that many casual players in Napoleonic Wars anymore anyway. Everyone just plays in events with regiments. So it's a little bit of a weird game mode, since the games and rounds last so short, but nonetheless I just guess it's a little bit of fun. In the game I was playing, we had a church that we had to overtake, and we were charging up to them, and I was absolutely terrible. It was only until the last round that I actually managed to get into the church, and then we finally managed to beat back the defenders. But the problem I had with it, the defenders seemed to be winning a lot. Like, I'd get up to the church, and then suddenly the defenders would win, and there was no real obvious way that I could see that they did win, because they were just sitting next to the flag. God, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute melon. So how King of the Hill actually works is you have a neutral hill, and you have two teams going up towards it. Why this whole time I've been thinking that there's defenders and attackers, I'm an absolute idiot, because there's never defenders and attackers in King of the Hill. There's just, no game has ever done that. So why I thought that they had added it in now, I have no idea. So yes, you have a neutral flag and two teams going up to attack it, and the team that has the most players around it that gets the flag down first is the winner. That's why it's so short. Right, move on before I embarrass myself anymore. Commander Battle, everybody's favourite casual mode, now includes musicians and flag bearers. Yes, the amazing musicians on the fife and the drums and the bugles, now are in the battle with you, and of course the amazing flag bearers to show your colours to the enemy. That's just a small nice thing, but yeah, AI controlled musicians and flag bearers, they're in commander mode. Now this is a pretty biggie. I would say it's probably the biggest addition, along with the last point. Well, not the last point, the last main point that I'm going to make. This is a new faction called Dreimberg. Yes. Of course, this is, I think it was a French clone. No, it was like client state to the French Empire, I think, something like that, but they were more German based. They had German military and things like that, so it's a little bit of a mixture there. Well, you can see some Bavarian troops, which of course Bavaria is its own place, but that was part of the French colonial or whatever. I'm not 100% on my history of Rheinberg, but in other words, you have a lot of Frenchish, Germanish, Prussianish troops in there, and it's quite a nice faction. Once again, I'm not sure why there's been added a new faction, since it's not entirely needed, but then again, who cares? New factions, new stuff. It brings more people into the game, and that's probably the main reason they've actually brought this update out, to refresh it for people, because new factions, new updates really just refresh it, and I think I'm going to bring some more people back into Napoleonic Wars, and maybe hyped for Napoleonic Wars DLC for Boonalood. Yes, you have the normal units like line infantry, you have light infantry, And my favourite personal ones, the Grenadiers or the Foot Guards, they look absolutely beautiful, beautiful. The Cavalry looks pretty nice. You've got some nice gold and red sort of colour schemes in there. And of course, the glorious leader, Friedrich August I. And yes, this man is going to take you into battle. He's going to lead the way with his spyglass, and then he's going to get shot through it into his eye, like a weird mash between the Napoleonic Wars and Save It Private Ryan in one very, very disgustingly inappropriate video. That suddenly got very erotic. Nonetheless, there was a new class, the Surgeon class. Yes, this Surgeon class is probably taken from mods such as Blood and Iron that had a Surgeon class, and I think North and South had it as well. That's probably the inspiration they got from it, where you're able to heal guys. You have bandages and you go and hit them with your bandage, then they go and get either healed, or maybe they've added in some type of bleeding mechanic, but it's more likely, because a bleeding mechanic would be a little bit harder to implement, I think that's more likely it just heals your troops. Whether it goes back to full health or whether it just goes up a little bit, I don't know. I guess we'll find out in battles. But there's also a suicide button if you just can't take the battles anymore. If you can't take the 12-year-old screaming down the microphone, press that suicide button, and of course you'll die, because that's kind of what happens. Or of course probably implemented if you get stuck or you go the wrong class in a battle and you want to change, that's always in there instead of having to go in the faction, change spectator and back. That can cause some issues. And along with that suicide button is an admin new button called the revive button, which weirdly revives players. I guess this makes trolls or late loaders into line battles easier to compensate for, rather than restarting the whole map. If anyone's had to deal with that as an admin in line battles, they know it kind of takes a bit of time, it's a little bit annoying. Now, the artillery ranker no longer has a musket, and he just has the ramrod, the lighter, and a small sword, which I thought was a little bit weird, but then I thought this was an amazing addition, because it means that they've added a new class, and this is the Artillery Guard, and this has the musket and a sapper sword to accompany. So you need to balance between who is firing the cannons and who is guarding these cannons. You can't really have someone with both as you could before. It means tactics and dispersing your troops is a lot trickier, and it feels more realistic to the time, really, and I really like this addition. But they do have the same stat as the ranker, so the Artillery Guard and the ranker, they have the same amount of health, the same speed and everything like that, so that's not changed, just the equipment they have. Now, some really cool admin stuff they've added in is some custom polls, and I really like custom polls because, yes, it can be abused by admins, but nonetheless you can put some funny polls in there, or asking what map people want. It will be quite interesting and easier for battles, so what people know and want, because it was very limited, whether it was just changing a map, or whether it was just the amount of bots on a team, or kicking people. Those were the types of set polls that you had to put in, but now custom ones, you can either accept or decline stuff, but yes, it has to either be a yes or no question, because that's the only options you can really get. Along with this, artillery horses are a little bit faster. I know if you've ever tried to be on an artillery train and moving your cannon from one place to another, you're going to have to be sparing with a lot of time, because you're going to be chased down pretty quickly. But now artillery horses can actually get up to more cantering speed, so that's a little bit faster, a little bit nicer, and it means you'll be able to get through the battlefield a little bit quicker with this. And this takes me on to probably the biggest addition, and my favourite addition by far, other than the Rheinbund. This is a new map called the Battle of the Pyramids. Now this adds a nice Egyptian style map. You've got some nice pyramids in the background, and also the new models of palm trees and things. You've got some really cool boats with mortars on. Ooh, I love mortar boats. And of course sailing boats and rowing boats that you can use to get across, I presume it's the Nile River. Now this is going to add for some new dynamics. I guess it's based on Napoleon's adventures in Egypt and the stuff he did there, you know, like shoving sand into his soldiers' boots and then the French are running away, but they can't because they got sand in the boots. Whatever Napoleon got up to, but this is a really nice new map. I definitely recommend you guys going and checking it out, even just on a single player hosted game. Now, of course, like I said, there are a lot of other things, like custom flag names on Conquest. It's better optimization, so it'll run a bit better for you guys. And there's also competitive scoreboards, where setting this on discards any team kills in game, so people can see their very true kill to death ratio. There's also apparently a new group fighting mode. I'm not really taking a look at that, but I guess that replaces having to set it to battle. I don't know how the group fighting mode really works around this. I don't play group fighting too much, but that's apparently in there, so if you guys want to go and check that out, especially do. Now, there's a link in the description to this whole blog post. There's a load of bugs fixed, like texture bugs or like getting stuck or not spawning in, so that's all nice, like health bugs as well with boats, because the boats were a little bit iffy. Now, boats have been changed a little bit with stats stats. More health on some of them, some can move easier. I don't really know, there's a lot to look through. And of course, heavy and medium horses, I think their maneuverability has been increased slightly, so you're able to move around a bit more with that. But that's pretty much about the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on it, and I might do some more videos on Napoleonic Wars in the future. I don't know whether I'm going to get back into it. This is quite interesting. This could be the calling. But until then, guys, until we find out that, I will see you in the next one.